Hello everyone, so today I'm going to be doing kind of a different video today. I'm going to be trying to follow a Bob Ross painting tutorial because I've seen so many other people on YouTube do this and I just really wanted to give it a go because I do really enjoy painting and art is my favourite subject, and I am also doing art and design at college, so yeah, I really hope you enjoy it and let's just get started. Okay, so here's everything that I'm going to need for this painting. So as you can see, I've already got all the colours ready, and I know he uses oil paints, but I'm going to be using acrylic paints, as you can see. And I didn't really have all of the colours, but hopefully it should still work. And I also have my paint brushes as well, and also a palette knife. And I also have my canvas on my easel, as you can see. It is very big. And then this is the video that I'm going to be following, and it's called Sunset Aglow. So yeah, I'm just going to try and follow it as best as I can. So yeah, let's just get started. So first what I did was I painted the whole canvas using just some white acrylic paint. So I just painted the whole thing. And now the next step is I want to use some yellow and I think some red colours to paint the background. So I'm just going to do that. So next what I did was I used some red and yellow acrylic paint and I just painted it on the canvas to create the sunset. And I blended it as best as I could. I know it doesn't look the best, but that's fine. And I think it looks pretty similar compared to his, so now we can move on to the next step. So next what I did was I mixed some red and some phthalo blue, I think it's called, and I just painted the top part of the canvas. And yeah, just basically like I tried blending it as best as I could. So that's what his looks like, and I think it looks pretty good. So now on to the next step. So next what I did was I painted on the clouds, and I just mixed some white and a little bit of red paint together, and I just dabbed it on using a fan brush. And I also added a little bit of red as well. So now on to the next step. So next what I did was I painted on some more clouds using the light pink colour, and I just dabbed them on randomly on the top of the canvas. And then I painted a much darker cloud in the centre using phthalo blue and crimson. And then I added some white here to make, I think, what is the sun? I'm not really sure. So now on to the next step. So next what I did was I painted the bottom part of the canvas using the phthalo blue and the crimson, and I just mixed the colours together and I just painted the bottom part. And then I just added some highlights using white. And as you can see, I also added a bit more to the clouds. So I just painted on a few more clouds on the top part. So now on to the next step. So next what I did was I painted on the mountains. So I just mixed phthalo blue, crimson and white paint together, and I just painted on this mountain right here. And then I mixed phthalo blue, crimson, black and brown paint together, and I painted some more mountains. And I just used my palette knife to paint them on. And then I just used white paint for the highlights, and again I just painted it on using a palette knife. And I think it's looking pretty good, so now on to the next step. So next what I did was I painted on the reflection of the mountains on the water using phthalo blue and crimson red. And again I just mixed the colours together and I just painted straight down, as you can see. And then I just used some white paint for the one of the water lines, or the reflection lines, I forget what it's called. And I'm sorry but I forgot to film this bit, but that's okay. So now we can move on to the next step. So next what I did was I painted on some trees, and I just mixed phthalo blue, crimson red, black and brown paint together, and then I used a fan brush to paint on the trees, which wasn't easy, so they didn't come out the best, but that's fine. And I also painted on the reflection in the water, as you can see. And then I painted on a few more trees on this side as well. And I also painted on a hill using the same colour. And then I tried adding highlights to this tree using white paint, but as you can see it didn't come out very well. It wasn't really easy painting on the trees. But anyways, let's move on to the next step. So here's what my final painting looks like. And basically the last thing that I did was I just mixed some sap green and yellow together, and I just dabbed it on the trees to add highlights. And I think it made the trees a whole lot better in my opinion. I think it just makes them look a little bit more realistic. And then what I did was I painted, or I tried to paint a path going down the hill using white paint. And again, I just used a palette knife to do this. And then lastly what I did was I just painted the hill green, and I just dabbed on the paint to make it look like grass, or tried to make it look realistic. I know it still doesn't look completely realistic, but I tried my best. And I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. And I think the reflection in the water came out pretty good as well. And I also really like how the mountains came out. And here is what Bob Ross's looks like compared to mine. And I know they're not exactly alike, but I'm still really happy with how mine turned out. and I will try to put both of them side by side so that way you can see the comparison a lot better. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed doing this painting, and I am pretty happy with how it turned out. And I'm probably going to put this up somewhere in my room. I'm not sure where yet, but I'll think about it. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye!